So the first definition or the first specification is a maximum force. Okay, maximum force is the force applied by the machine while cutting the sheet metal. Okay, or non-cutting operation may be considered for this case. Okay, तर ह्याच्यामध्ये बघा आपण एखादं कटिंग किंवा नॉन कटिंग ऑपरेशन परफॉर्म करतोय मशीनवरती, त्या केसमध्ये जे मशीन कडून मॅक्झिमम फोर्स पॉसिबल फोर्स जो आहे तो म्हणजे काय झाला, मॅक्झिमम फोर्स. ओके, आता ह्या केसमध्ये बघा मेकॅनिकल प्रेस असेल तर 5 to 4000 टन्स आपण कन्सिडर करू शकतो. हायड्रॉलिक प्रेस साठी काय आहे, आपल्याला जास्त टनेज मिळते. ओके, म्हणजे हायड्रॉलिक प्रेस provides maximum tonnage for press operations while mechanical provides less tonnage. Okay, so nowadays in industry most of the industries prefer hydraulic press. Okay, now what is the maximum stroke length? Maximum distance traveled by the ram from its topmost position. Okay, maximum distance traveled by the ram from its topmost position to extreme down position. It is expressed in mm. Means while the ram is reciprocating. Okay, if you consider this figure, this ram is reciprocating, then its upper position and its lower position, that is called as maximum stroke length. Okay, then next is die space. Okay, what is meant by die space? Total maximum surface area along with breadth and depth of the base ram base is the area in which die can be maintained. याचा अर्थ काय, एखादा डाय तुम्ही कन्सिडर केला. ओके, आता ह्या मशीन वरती एखादा डाय तुम्हाला लोकेट करायचा आहे, तर त्या केस मध्ये त्याची साईज जी असणार आहे डायची साईज ती कन्सिडर कसं करणार आपण, तर त्याची सरफेस एरिया, एक्सपोज्ड सरफेस एरिया. याच्यामध्ये तुम्ही हाईट नाही कन्सिडर केलं तर चालेल, पण ब्रेडथ आणि विड्थ दोन्ही कन्सिडर करून मॅक्झिमम एरिया किती कन्सिडर होतोय एखाद्या डायचं, तर ते आपण काय म्हणू शकतोय, डाय स्पेस. आता ते याच्यामध्ये हाईट दिसते तुम्हाला, हाईट कन्सिडर नाही होणार. जेव्हा तुम्ही ह्याला टॉप व्ह्यू मध्ये बघताय तेव्हा तुमच्या लक्षात येईल की बाबा विड्थ आणि ब्रेडथ कन्सिडर होणार डाय स्पेस मध्ये. ओके, नेक्स्ट आहे शट हाईट. टोटल ओपनिंग बिटवीन रॅम अँड बेस when the ram is at its extreme down position. आता शट हाईट म्हणजे काय, आता ह्याच्यामध्ये काय म्हणले बघा, टोटल ओपनिंग बिटवीन रॅम अँड बेस ऑफ रॅम अँड बेस when the ram is at the extreme down position. आता हा रॅम आहे. ओके, हा झाला रॅम. आता कन्सिडर करा की हा एक्स्ट्रीम डाऊन पोझिशनला आहे. ओके, आणि त्याच्यामध्ये आणि मशीनच्या आता हे बेस असेल तर ह्याच्यामध्ये जी डिस्टन्स किती आहे, तर त्याला आपण काय म्हणू शकतोय, शट हाईट. आता हे कन्सिडर का करावं लागणार आहे आपल्याला, तर ह्या केसमध्ये जेव्हा आपण तिथे डाय लोकेट करणार आहे, एखादा डाय आपण प्लेस करतोय, तर ते डाय शट हाईट एवढंच पाहिजे. बरोबर, म्हणजे त्या कंपॅरिझन मध्ये आपण काय करतो, रॅमची पोझिशन लॉक करतो. लक्षात येते, शट हाईट मध्ये काय होणार आहे, एवढा जो स्पेस अवेलेबल आहे एवढ्यामध्येच तुम्हाला तुमचं डाय लोकेट करावं लागेल. ओके, नेक्स्ट आहे प्रेस ऍडजस्टमेंट. ओके, so what is mean by press adjustment? Different stroke lengths already covered in point number 2, maximum stroke length, different tonnage that can be set as per the requirement. स्ट्रोक लेंथ कंट्रोल केल्यानंतर मेकॅनिकल जर तुम्ही कन्सिडर केला तर स्ट्रोक लेंथ कंट्रोल करून आपण काय करू शकतो, टनेज कंट्रोल करू शकतो. ओके. हायड्रॉलिकला काय डायरेक्ट हायड्रॉलिक पॉवरचा यूज करून आपण टनेज कंट्रोल करू शकतोय, पण मेकॅनिकल मध्ये काय होते, स्ट्रोक लेंथ वरती टनेज कंट्रोल करता येते. ओके. नेक्स्ट आहे रॅम स्पीड. तर रॅम स्पीड म्हणजे काय, तर नंबर ऑफ स्ट्रोक्स एक्सप्रेस्ड पर मिनिट. ओके. एका मिनिटामध्ये रॅम किती स्ट्रोक परफॉर्म करतो. स्ट्रोक म्हणजे काय, अप डाऊन पोझिशन. ओके. डाउनवर्ड is the ramming action and this is a withdrawal action. So considering these two, in 1 minute how many operations can perform this RAM is considered as a RAM speed. Okay, which is expressed in strokes per minute. एका मिनिटाला किती स्ट्रोक रॅम परफॉर्म करतोय. आता ह्याच्यावरती काय डिसाइड होते की बाबा तुमचा प्रोडक्शन रेट. बरोबर. म्हणजे रॅमिंगची जी ऍक्शन आहे त्याच्यावरती तुम्ही मटेरियलला पुढे ढकलताय. बरोबर. जेवढं जास्त तुमचं रॅम स्पीड मिळत असेल आणि हाय स्पीड जर मशीन घेतला तुम्ही कन्सिडर केला, तर त्याच्यामध्ये ऑटोमॅटिक फीडिंग शीटला ठेवला तर काय होईल, आपल्याला मॅक्झिमम प्रोडक्शन रेट मिळेल. ओके. जनरली इट कॅन बी 5 to 5000 strokes per minute. Okay. Now next is press shed height. Okay. Shed height is defined as the distance from bottom face of the ram. Okay, which is the bottom face of ram. So this is bottom face of the ram. Okay. Now to the top of the press bed. Okay, so this is press bed and this is the top of press bed. Okay. Bolster plate is located above the press bed, so we have to consider this distance. Okay, distance between lower surface or bottom face of the ram, okay, and top of the press bed. This is top of the press bed with the ram positioned at very bottom position. Now the ram is at very bottom position. When it goes upward, it will be the top position. Okay, consider this is the upper position, then this is considered as a top position. Now this is at the bottom position. Okay. So distance between these two is press shed height. Okay. Now press shed height can be found on the specific plates attached to the press frames and in the presses technical manual. All that theoretical data is available with the machine. Okay, the manual that provided by the company which has produced or the manufactured this machine provides you all the data regarding press shed height, ram speed, press adjustment, shed height, die space, maximum stroke length and maximum force. All this data has been given in the manual by the manufacturing company. Okay. The next part is shearing theory. Okay. So in shearing theory, what we are going to study the stages or the theory how the material is going to shear. Okay. Generally, the shearing is carried out in 3 stages. Okay. The first one is a plastic deformation. Okay. The second one is penetration and third one is a fracture. Okay. Now we will understand first what is meant by plastic deformation. Now consider this figure. Okay. In this figure, this is a punch. Okay. And this portion is a die. Okay. Now the material is located here. This is material. Okay, now while applying the force by the punch, what will happen? This punch will try to enter into the material. Okay, now while the punch is trying to enter into the material, what will happen? The embossing action is performed on the material. Now you can observe here. Okay, this is a embossed portion. Okay, the material has entered into the die. You can observe this yellow colored portion. Okay, above which the material is bulging towards the die sides. Okay, and a depression is provided. A depression has been generated here. Okay, the above portion. So this is a depression and this is a embossing. This is what? Plastic deformation. Elastic deformation is something that the material has been deformed, but it is going to take its original shape when the force is removed. Okay, but in plastic deformation, this material which is bulged into the die will not take its original position when the force is removed. That means it is a permanent deformation, that material has bulged into the die. Okay, so this is the first step, that material is embossed on this lower side. Okay, and depressed on upper side. Okay, next is penetration stage. Okay, so in this stage, this is the further action of the punch. Okay, here compression stress is applied on the both side. Okay, that is between punch edge and die edge. Okay, due to which what happens, the punch will penetrate into the material. Okay, this punch will penetrate into the material. Okay, still the fracture has not been started. म्हणजे काय, ह्याच्यामध्ये अजून मटेरियल कट झालेलं नाही आहे. वरच्या केसमध्ये काय झालं होतं की बाबा फक्त मटेरियल इकडे खालच्या साईडला एम्बॉस झाला होता. ह्या केसमध्ये काय झालेलं आहे, मटेरियलच्या आतमध्ये पंच म्हणजे आतमध्ये पेनिट्रेट झालेलं आहे. ओके, that means punch has entered into the material. Okay, so this is penetration, and the last stage is a fracture stage. Okay, now actually at this stage the material gets fractured. Now how it is going to get fractured? So we will observe this figure carefully. So initially, if you consider, okay, consider this is a punch. Okay, and now consider this is a die. So the material has been kept over here. Initially what happened, this is plastic deformation. Okay, so consider this is a plastic deformation. Then what happened, the material the punch has entered into the material. Okay, so punch entered into the material, then this is a penetration, and after that what happens, the edges, this edge, and for this side also, this edge and this edge, from these edges the material tries to get shear. A crack has been generated from these two sides, and after some time these two cracks get connected to each other and material get fractured and will fall down. Okay, understood? what happens when, I'm going to repeat it again. Consider this is a punch, this is a die, and material has been kept over here. Then from these stages crack will propagate because of compressive force. Okay, penetration has been completed, so further cracks will generate from the edges of punch and die. Okay, these are the cutting edges. Okay, so after some time these cracks will get connected to each other, thereby separating this material from parent element. So this material gets separated from the parent element. Okay, so this is portion regarding the shearing action. Now the next part is cutting force. So what is meant by cutting force? It is the force required to cut the required portion of the material in order to get the blank slug. Okay, or you can consider the scrap. Okay, okay. Now cutting force. So it is the force required to cut the material, which depends on three factors. Okay, so cutting force is equal to L into S into tau max. Okay, so first of all, what is meant by L? L is the peripheral length of the material. Okay, so what is meant by peripheral length? If you consider a stock material, this is a stock material of the sheet metal, and you have to cut a circular portion over here, which is having a diameter of 10 mm. So what is the perimeter or peripheral length of this circular portion? You can directly consider 2 pi r or pi d. That means 3.142 into diameter is 10 mm. So that means 31.4 mm is the peripheral length. That means in cutting force, L is the peripheral length. That means when considering the cutting force, the peripheral length or the area which is exposed for cutting is important, because uh, greater the peripheral length, higher will be the cutting force. Lesser the peripheral length, lower will be the cutting force. Okay, then next is a sheet thickness. So obviously after length, the next portion is thickness of the sheet. Lower the thickness, lower will be the cutting force.